Movies are the greatest invention of all time. Screw the wheel. But the end result of a picture isn't always the true treasure for me. Sometimes it's all about the journey. And for every deep dive into the making of a picture with your favorite nerdy film scholar, or a documentary like the Herzog Klaus Kinski Burden of Dreams,
the trees here are in misery and the birds are in misery. I don't think they sing, they just screech in pain.
or a narrative like Mank from David Fincher, or Tim Burton's Ed Wood, there's also the trashier side of filmmaking. It's actually a remake of a remake, and that original remake, well, that bolsters Vincent Price, great box office numbers, a 3D extravaganza directed by a man who actually had no depth perception, and a Hollywood premiere featuring Ronald Reagan, Shelley Winters, and Bela Lugosi with an ape. Well, a man in an ape costume. House of Wax stars Alicia Cuthbert, Chad Michael Murray, Jared Padalecki, and Paris Hilton. It's about a group of teens who find themselves fighting for their lives amidst a strange wax museum in a strange town. It's produced by the absolute powerhouse that is Joel Silver, who has given us countless classics. It's a film that had its own behind-the-scenes show on MTV as a promotional tool, but the biggest marketing tool that they had was telling the world that they were going to kill Paris Hilton. The shoot was 3 months long in Gold Coast, Australia. And, well, the House of Wax set burned down. It was made of wax. I mean, a lot of wax. And Chad Michael Murray felt his hand bubbling from heat, and then up in a blaze, the whole set went. Which, to be fair, is kind of crazy because the Vincent Price version also had very, very bad pyrotechnic issues. The 1953 version had 3 spot fires that raged out of control, caused a hole in the soundstage roof, and singed Price's eyebrows. But is anyone saying the House of Wax movies are cursed? No. Chad Michael Murray escaped the catastrophe, as did everyone on the set, and they were actually able to rebuild the entire set within a few weeks. But damn, Chad Michael Murray was hot the whole time. Not just in sex appeal, but in that heated, angry, I'm acting like a bit of a and I don't care if there's a camera filming sort of way.
Don't film me getting makeup done.
I have to commit to these performances.
Turn the camera for a second.
Get that camera out here.
I need a coffee, just a caramel macchiato with a lot of vanilla and 2 sugars. Dude, I need to have sex more.
I'm getting sick.
But the real heat came from Chad Michael Murray, mixed with girlfriends Sophia Bush and Paris Hilton. Before Chad was doing the Lifetime Hallmark Christmas movies and the religious Nick Cage movies, he was a big-time heartthrob, being in A Cinderella Story, Freaky Friday, and had stints in Gilmore Girls and Dawson's Creek. And Chad and Sophia were rocking and rolling with television series One Tree Hill. They fell in love, and then Chad showed MTV and all of his fans how he'd proposed to her in Australia. The thing about it is, though, while Chad was pushing this narrative about Paris Hilton really loving Jared Padalecki, it seemed that it was Chad and Paris who were actually doing the
Wow, chicka wow wow, chicka wow wow.
Allegedly, they had some good times. And then, all of a sudden, in Australia, Chad Michael Murray proposes to Sophia Bush.
So I thought it would be very romantic to do a barrage. It's the only word I can use of candles.
Let's get 2 of these wankers. Yeah, I love that word, wanker. Screw the fact if it costs money, she's worth it. Now let's see if we find something that's more economical. All right, dude, I think we're done, man. Let's get the out of here.
And so she runs inside and pulls her bag in and sees everything and just says, "We're not going anywhere, are we?"
And remember, how does Chad describe Sophia?
Sophia is, I guess she's my cool breeze.
But now it gets really weird. They get married in 2005 and then separate in 5 months. And you know what? Nick Carter, Backstreet Boys extraordinaire, had a whole lot to say about this. He hears Paris is cheating on him with Chad in Australia, and then he goes and hooks up with Ashley Simpson as revenge. In his book, Facing the Music and Living to Talk About It, he says him and Paris were together for 7 months, but broke up because they're different views on life. Paris told MTV, quote, "I was getting my makeup done and it just hit me. I love Nick, but I need time alone. I called my psychic and I asked her opinion. She thought I should be alone and I agreed with her." Psychics have so much work to do. Nick says he broke up with Paris. Ashley said she never hooked up with Nick. Paris said she never cheated on Nick. Sophia Bush calls Chad a boy on Instagram. Aaron Carter, Nick's brother, calls out Paris and Chad on the Tyra Banks show.
Me later on that he found out who she had cheated on me with because she didn't say it was with anybody.
Who was this with?
Chad Michael Murray. So,
He's
on the House of Wax movie.
And then Nick and Aaron duke it out on their own show, House of Carter, over Paris, because maybe Aaron took Paris out on a date.
Because when I broke up with Paris, this guy takes her out.
But Aaron says he went on the date so he could find out some intel. There's always been that weird, destructible, sometimes unavoidable sexual chemistry on film locations. Bradifer turning into Brangelina on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith wasn't the only time this happened. But this Chad, Paris, Sophia, Carter's, Ashley is the TRL version of all that. Chad and Sophia still had to work on One Tree Hill after their marriage was over, and Sophia claimed that producers were deeply inappropriate about it, using the situation to their advantage with storylines and publicity. The House of Wax premiere was at the Man Village Theater in Westwood, California on April 26, 2005. And yeah, humble brag, I was fortunate enough to be at that premiere walking down the red carpet. Nobody took pictures of me though. And while the craziness of sex and cheating was hot and heavy in Australia, the premiere was exactly like the marketing team thought it would be. Everyone was there to see Paris Hilton in this movie. And in the film, when Paris, as Paige, kisses her boyfriend while someone is filming, it was impossible not to see the uncomfortable resemblance between that and A One Night in Paris. And everyone at the premiere would turn and steal little glimpses of the Hilton family and see their reactions and see how it was going. And when Paris finally gets killed in a pretty fantastic sort of way, the entire crowd, minus the Hilton family of course, cheered like they had never cheered before. The only other time I heard cheering that loud was when Team Jacob started taking his shirt off in every single scene of the Twilight sequel. True story. The audience cheered and they loved it so much, and honestly, for the family, it seemed like the Paris death was a lot easier to take than the resemblance of One Night in Paris. And it was at that point that I realized just how brilliant Joel Silver and the marketing team were. Because in this weird, bizarre, perverse, not evil, but still weirdly sadistic in so many ways, everyone in that theater and everyone who bought a ticket to see House of Wax really was just going to see Paris die. But don't worry, because just like you're probably assuming, Paris Hilton loved it more than anyone else.
No, I was happy. I think in any horror film it's cool to have a death scene, and especially mine.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed a little bit of gossip.